How we doing?
Defensive Player of the Year running, huh? MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
Shannon, I got bad news for you. Here comes Joel Embiid in the MVP race. Here comes James Harden, maybe at the top of the MVP race. There goes your man LeBron, straight down.
Okay, well, we'll see. We're going to find out.
We'll see. It's interesting you guys bring up the NBA because, yes, we have a lot of basketball to get to, but in the NFL, guys, J.J. Watt has finally made his decision after keeping NFL fans on pins and needles. Watt announced he would be signing with the Cardinals. The contract is reportedly 2 years, and it totals $31 million. Watt will join former teammate DeAndre Hopkins in Arizona, and on the defensive line, he will be paired with Chandler Jones, who has combined with Watt for nearly 200 career sacks. This news was crazy yesterday. Shannon, how surprised were you by Watt's choice here to go with Arizona?
Well, I'm very surprised because all the teams that were seemingly being mentioned, Arizona was never really mentioned. And if they were, I think Fox Bet had them at like something 35-1 as a chance to sign J.J. Watt. So they were on the radar, but barely basically a bleep on the radar. Skip, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that he got this kind of money, given his injury history, given his productivity over the last 5 years. Now, Skip, you know what I think of J.J. Watt. For a 5-year stretch, I used to come on the show, for a couple of year stretch, I used to come on the show every day, and I tell you, he's the best player in football. That was the first 5 years. But over the last 5 years, Skip, he has been relatively unhealthy. He played, 16, 17? I think he played 4 or 5 games total. He was totally healthy in 18, had 16 sacks. And then if you look at 19, and then you look at this year, Skip, he only had 5 sacks. He played all 16 games. He had 5 sacks. And what you and I know, you from covering the game from 40 years, me from playing in the game and covering the game the last 15 years, is that guys don't normally get healthier as they start to age. And he's had a significant injury. Torn pec in 2019, tibial plateau fracture in 2017, torn lower ab muscle in 2016, Skip. He has an injury history. But here's the caveat. Skip, if you could secure the bag, basically $15.5 million for 2 years, $23 million guaranteed. Now, it's without knowing any other teams and what they're offering, this seems like a lot of money. And it might have been a situation where Arizona were only bidding against themselves. But that is a lot of money for a guy that's put up that kind of productivity over the last few years. So if you can get that kind of money, that kind of security, when your numbers seem to be heading in the wrong direction, Skip, you got to take it. Now, I know he said, excuse me, Kyler was one of the determining factors, but it's hard for me to believe that if Green Bay have a similar offer on the table, you like Kyler more than you like Aaron Rodgers? Josh Allen, Buffalo, if they have a significant offer on the table, you like him better than Josh Allen? Skip, I'll concede this. Kyler Murray, I believe, is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. But overall, from a team perspective, no, sir, no way. I can't go there. So for me, it seems to me one of the overriding theme, J.J. Watt got security that he wanted and a team that's pretty good. But are they better than Tampa? Are they better than Green Bay? Are they better than the Rams? I don't think so. So if he wanted to contend for a title, Skip, I think he could have really, if that was his main focus, I believe he could have went to other teams. But I believe money played a large role in this, and it should have. Guys, get your money. There's no guarantee that you go to a team, you take less money, you're going to contend for a Super Bowl, or you're going to be in the Super Bowl. Get that money and let the chips fall where they may.
So, Shannon Sharp, once upon a time, there was a movie, maybe even before your time, a great movie called All the President's Men. Do you remember Robert Redford, Dustin Hoffman, about the Nixon Watergate scandal? Their source was Deep Throat.
I do.
And what did Deep Throat keep telling them? Follow the money. That was the money line of that movie. Follow the money. Let's follow the money all the way to Arizona. J.J. Watt just took by far the best offer on the table. Should we be shocked by that? Not really.
No.
I think that's just who J.J. Watt is. He just said, I want one last cash-in paycheck. I got no huge problem with that, although you might think that after 10 years in the league, for what turned into a sad sack franchise, J.J. Watt in Houston was 3-5 in the postseason and obviously never went very far in the postseason. And you might have thought, well, his priority should have been Super Bowl ring, but it was not. It was $23 million guaranteed, $31 million over 2 years total. And again, no huge problem with that, but I know Ed Werder, my friend Ed, and I have nothing but great respect for him, had tweeted all along that the first criteria in his choice, to your point, was quarterback. Well, okay, back to your point. Aaron or Kyler? Aaron or Kyler? I don't know. I think I would go Aaron Rodgers. Where is J.J. Watt from? Originally, he is from the state of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Green Bay is in, as you well know from your brother's days, playing for the Packers. Oh, it's in Wisconsin. And so everybody leaped to the early conclusion. My friend Lil Wayne was all over it because he's the biggest Packer fan. He was crushed by what Brady did to Rodgers at Lambeau. I think he still hasn't really surfaced after that, but he thought, a ray of light. Lil Wayne thought, JJ is coming home to play for the Green Bay Packers. Well, they're supposed to be like $11 million over the cap. I don't think they offered very much, if any, money. And again, a lot of people leap to the conclusion, well, JJ would join his two brothers playing for the Steelers. Well, apparently that didn't appeal to him, and you can argue, well, what's left of Ben Roethlisberger? It looks like they're going to try one more go-around with Ben at a very reduced salary.
And
maybe
they got less money.
Yeah. And they got less money.
Skip, not to cut you off, Skip.
Yeah.
They got less money than Green Bay.
I got it. So to your point, you know, Cleveland was supposed to be in the running. We could throw in 5 other teams, even Tampa. There was some thought of, would he try to take minimum wage to go play with Tom Brady, with that defense, with that Super Bowl champion? No, he is not going to do that. And I'm not sure they wanted him to do that. And back to your original point, I think Arizona was bidding against itself. So to Arizona's credit, what has it done the last 3 off seasons? It's gone splash, splash, splash. It's gone Kyler, #1 overall pick, way to go. Then stole DeAndre Hopkins from those Texans. And then they sent the owner, Michael Bidwell's plane to go pick up his private jet to go pick up J.J. Watt and his wife from Houston and fly him in and make a big production, big marquee value splash of we got J.J. Watt. Well, do you have J.J. Watt? Because you and I went back and forth. Is he the best player in football? The first day of this show, September 6th of 2016. What did you tell me? You said he's the best player in football. I said quarterbacks included. J.J. Watt's the best player in football.
Quarterbacks included,
Okay. I
and
can't
he immediately
see
got hurt.
I got it. But again, we've gone back and forth about Aaron Donald. I can see Aaron Donald as the best player in football before I could ever see J.J. Watt. But to your point, also, he's been beat up. I think some of it has been self-inflicted because he's trying all these stunt lifts for YouTube value, and he is more of a self-promotional solo act to me. But again, the sacks have dropped, the games played have dropped, and his ranking has dropped over time. If you really look at what he is, again, I'll go on your favorite website, the Pro Football Focus rankings of J.J. Watt. Well, he's been at the very top. He's been ranked, going back to 2014, he was their #1 overall defender. Not best player in football, but their #1 defender. And then he dropped to 5th the next year. Then 16, 17, he was injured. Then 18, he dropped to 11th best defensive player, still pretty good. Then he dropped 19 to 14th best overall. And last year he dropped to 21st best defensive player. Well, Shannon, 21st best defensive player, it's still very good. But
that's good.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of money for the 21st ranked defensive player.
It's a lot of money. And again, they got a big issue facing them with Hassan Reddick, who had 12.5 sacks last year. And I could argue right here, right now, Reddick might be slightly more valuable because he's so much younger and fresher and hotter. He might be slightly more valuable than JJ. Well, are they going to franchise tag him for, what is it, like $15.6 million? I don't know. I don't know if they have the wherewithal to do that now. So it may have come down to J.J. Watt or Hassan Reddick. And did they get that much better? Again, Chandler Jones has been hurt. He's getting up there in years, but will he come back and be Chandler Jones? Yeah. Maybe. And again, there's a lot to like on their defense. We love Budda Baker. We love Isaiah, and you can go on. Murphy.
Isaiah Simmons seems to... Later in the year, Skip, the light switch seemed to have come on for Isaiah Simmons.
It seemed like it did. I agree. So